When we think about Robben Ford, I think two things come to mind. One is the Dumble amplifier, of course. He's kind of got like the second, but really first ODS, and obviously made hugely famous by folks like Robben Ford, Larry Carlton, etc. Then the other thing is kind of the Zendrive. Those are two things that we talk about. But there's a session that he did with Joni Mitchell called In France They Kiss on Main Street. And I think it's really interesting for a couple of reasons. One of which is that he's just going with a fuzz into the desk direct. This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Apparently at the time he was kind of arguing with Joni about whether this was the way to go. So I thought it would be interesting to kind of do a video explore this because of course the secrets of Robben's tone, as we know, are the Dumble, the Zendrive and his fingers, right? But can we get useful tones out of a fuzz straight into, say, Helix Native, for example? I was alerted to this article by Tom, who TL Muse in the comments if he stops by this video. But he pointed me towards this LA Times article, which was Robben Ford essentially getting together with Kellaway again, and they met on the Joni Mitchell gig. I think Joni Mitchell, interestingly enough, has had a really killer band over the years. You know, people coming in and out of there like Jaco Pastorius, I think John Scofield probably, Pat Metheny for sure, Robben Ford, some amazing players. Has Larry Carlton played for her? I don't know. Anyway, but yes, recording this session, and Joni Mitchell apparently was kind of just throwing ideas at him, and he was plugged direct into a console with an MXR fuzz. I think at the time there would have been those little square things, right? Those apparently are, according to the internet, and I'm not exactly sure, but definitely correct this if it's wrong, are somewhat close to a fuzz face, you know, a fairly early fuzz circuit. And anyway, just so that tone from what we know is Robben Ford plugged from a fuzz directly into a console. I guess they would have done some EQing on the console. It sounds like there's some reverb added. So that's what I'm going to try today and see if we can get anything usable out of this. This is quite an expensive fuzz, but I might also try with the digital version of a fuzz face within Helix Native. I don't know, could be interesting. Let me know your thoughts and your favourite kind of direct console tones. I think we've got folks like Prince and that, but if you've got examples of tones that you really dig that you know were direct console, I'd be interested to talk about that a bit more, because it's obviously there's no amp involved even, and that was it seemed absurd to Robben at the time. No amp, no mic. You basically have to go along for the ride and kind of do your best to kind of do the best that you can in suboptimal situations. I think that's a lot of being a guitarist these days. So I've called this Pray For Me DI Fuzz, and let's see what happens. So I've got my guitar. Let's kind of sounds like nothing right now. So I'm going to stick a bit of reverb on. There's definitely some reverb on Robben's tone on that track. But yeah, so now. Okay, so I'm kind of going to be on my bridge pickup, I think. If I turn on my fuzz, particularly sound like anything I want to hear. Right, now let's try on here the arbitrator fuzz face. Okay, well that's not really a vibe yet. Two things that I want to do really. Let's plug into an amp. So that's okay. I think we're going to need some EQ on this, right? And I'm presuming that you would on the desk have had something like a Neve console or something like that. I mean, already that now is actually that's actually quite palatable at this point now. If I get the level up a bit more. Kind of want to try something kind of slap backy as well, and feedback down to 0, headroom all the way. I can't say it's the most inspiring tone ever. I kind of prefer the digital fuzz for this. I definitely get kind of familiar vibes. It's definitely not something that makes me think of Robben Ford, but it doesn't sound unlike something that I've heard on records before. Do you know what I mean? Like I think of like the Isley Brothers, Summer Breeze. Or I think of something like Boogie Oogie Oogie. I think it sounds like it's Nile Rodgers playing on that. There's a little solo in there. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is it something you'd ever consider kind of using without the EQ? You've got very much that kind of broken speaker kind of vibe. But once you EQ some of that really spiky high-end stuff out, so, you know, high cut down to 5.9, you can get something approaching useful. I prefer that arbitrator fuzz in this context to my actual peak Cornish, I think. But it is not the most inspiring tone, so if someone asked me to do this on a session, I'd probably give it a go. And then quickly trying to get away from them. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll catch you in another video soon. Cheers.